Previously on Gamer Boss Park. Copying these wall panels, I want to decorate these arches too. It's best to fill in the rest of the gap, only for us to copy it onto the other tower. Now we're talking. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Gamer Boss Park Reborn. And in today's episode, we're gonna get started on the roller coaster. But before we get building, I said I was gonna build metal detectors in this area. Not only that, I also built some other stuff as well. First off, we have metal detectors under this canopy. I was too lazy to make my own metal detectors, so I found someone else's blueprint. I'm gonna leave that in the description below. I've also added these banners right where the buses are, but that's not all, because buzzing! I added some lighting, so that could be all lit up at night. I do wish there was a way you could change the brightness / range on the lights, much like Theme Park Tycoon 2 did. I added some rotating lights around the Gamer Boss Park Reborn logo. And is it just me, or does this game have the most gorgeous lighting ever? I mean, just look at this. This is God tier. With all that said, let's get building. And for the roller coaster we're gonna be building, I think the best one to do would be the sit-down lap bar, aka the B&M Hyper Coaster. Because, you know, B&M Hyper is typically the biggest coasters in most parks, and they also provide a lot of airtime. For the placement of this station, I think the best place will be this spot. I don't want it like too far. That way we can have some room for the other rides. Actually, I think it's best that we just move it a little bit back, maybe a bit far. I think that works. Only for us to just raise it up. Not too tall though. This height will do. Perfect. I do want to start the ride off with a dip / a turn. Turn is to like slightly to the right, dip down, keep on doing that one again, bit tilted back to normal, and then that one's gonna have to be shorter. I did hear this game has the ability to add catwalks, because if we were to turn this on, bam, you got yourself catwalks. Moving on, all rides must start with a chain lift. This thing is gonna do, build us out all the way until we have a height that we are happy with. Turn that back to normal. That is good enough. Only for us to now build the drop. We don't want this drop to be too steep, angled slightly. Now that right there is a massive drop. And you wanna know what else is massive? My pee. That was just me trying to silence the low temper faders. I hate that beam anyway. Carrying on, this definitely has to lead up to an airtime hill, because, you know, B&M Hypers are known for their airtime. That looks quite decent. Let's just go ahead and test this out real quick. All right, we're turning and up the chain lift. We are almost there. Oh boy, we're at the top. Brace yourselves. Here we go. That's all right. We can smooth this out later because there's also auto smoothing in this game. Continuing on from the first airtime hill, I have yet to add another airtime hill. Except this one is gonna go. We're gonna have to figure this out. I think I've got it. I'm gonna turn to the left. We gotta make this pretty steep, just like that. Keep on building this turn. And then immediately following the turn, I have yet to add another turn to the right. But we're gonna go at an upward spiral, bring it all the way to the top. Now after following that, it's time we just take another drop, like so. I do wanna bring the turn near the front of the entrance. It's going. It should hopefully make it. Yes, it made it! Yet another airtime hill right here. That is a big airtime hill, of course. And then immediately following that, you guessed it, more airtime hills. Build one airtime hill. We gotta make sure these hills are big enough. That way we can have some airtime, because that's what hypers are for. They are airtime machines. And now we just have yet another airtime hill. Extend that a bit. Immediately following that, I have yet to add a turn to the right. This is going along pretty smoothly, not gonna lie. Drop that here. Have to yet be another hill. And I was thinking of an overbank turn. I hope the train can make it there. I have no idea if it will though. Overbank turn. Take that to 90 degrees. Back to the ground. Up and down. All right, let's see if it's gonna make it. Is it gonna make it? Probably not. Come on, come on. It made it! Excellent. I'm glad it made it. Fill out the rest of the turn. And from here, we are getting close to the pathway. Some more banked hills. I now want to immediately return to the station with yet a very cool finale. And now I want to add a camelback. Go this way. Make sure that is even. Have another airtime. Do it all again. Now for this one, I want to make this dive under the water. And by doing that, we got to make sure this goes straight into the ground. Make sure this is banked a bit more. I can't really see much in here. Let me get some lights. Okay, that's decent. And now we exit the tunnel. We, of course, have got to end it with the brakes. Put this all the way. Automatically put the brakes on there. Amazing. We have officially completed our roller coaster, but this needs a little smoothing.
One eternity later.
Alright, after some minor tweaking, I have built my first roller coaster. And I gotta say, this is awesome. If we were to build this in Theme Park Tycoon 2, we would have already taken up the whole space. Like literally, we wouldn't have any room to build more coasters. Thankfully, the plot we have is much larger than the previous plot. And while I was doing some tweaking, I came up with a name. G-Force. Originally, I was gonna call this Gamer Coaster, but it sounded a bit too generic. Then I was gonna call this Gamer Boss 40. The Ride, which sounded boring, until I decided to call this G-Force. Of course, we've gotta make this blue because it's gonna be themed around me. Looking vibrant. And also make the supports a bit darker blue. Now we're talking. That is one heck of a ride. Let's not forget that the train also has to be blue as well. One cool thing you can do in this game is that you can put scenery on the ride vehicles. What can we add onto the ride vehicle? I want to decorate the train to look like a car, like a supercar for that matter. I don't think the wheels will look right on that. To begin, this rectangle that'll look good on there. Make sure to resize the rectangle. That will work. Place it onto there. Angle this out, only for us to now fill this in. That is definitely taking shape. It's best that we just cover this up. Awesome. Those gray things are looking a bit ugly though. Can't forget to add the headlights. Place this one on top. Do that at the bottom. We can go ahead and also slap the logo on. It's not the most accurate, but it's something, I guess. Carrying on, I want to hide the sides on here. Let's not forget the details. It's what makes this ride cool. There you go. I also would like to decorate the seats. Put that a lighter blue. Apply. Do this for every single seat. I also think it would be nice if we added some onboard audio to this ride. And to achieve that, we can just use round pieces to sell off the effect. Add this gutter to the bottom. Now that's what I call fire. And there you go. Oh. And for the cherry on top, place yet some more lighting. All the way across as usual. And now our train is complete. And if we set it to nighttime, wow. Now that is lit. And the lighting looks stunning. And it even stays on the track as well. This is gonna look pretty at night. We might as well add an entrance and an exit. And with that, I think this is where we end it here on today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and if you got any ideas, don't forget to put them in the comments. And in the next episode, we're gonna build the rest of the ride, and also the main area. Anyways, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.